Hello, and welcome to the ProQuest Statistical Datasets training series. In this session, you'll get an overview of ProQuest Statistical Datasets. A dataset is a series or collection of records originally created or managed by a computer system. It's made up of fields and tables containing structured raw data, and typically contains surveys, reviews, census, and inventory data. ProQuest Statistical Datasets lets you peruse content, select subjects and criteria, view results, print or download the statistical data, so you can compare and analyze criteria on a wide range of subjects, from consumer behavior to housing, economic indicators to crime, and even the weather. This product aggregates approximately 700 commercially licensed data sets and public domain data sets, providing more than 16 billion data points. The data series can span from 20 to 100 years, but most importantly, this allows you to become the publisher of tables and charts containing the specific data that you are looking for. Simply put, ProQuest Statistical Datasets is a visual discovery tool to show the data that student and faculty members want to include in their research. Its capabilities range from quick answers to deep analysis. Throughout this session, we will use 5 strokes plus the escape key. When selecting items, you can select a single item by clicking on it and select multiple items by control-clicking on each additional item. To zoom in on data, we use 3 methods. Depending on the displayed data, click and drag to zoom in on a graph. Click and drag to draw a box on a map, enlarging the view. Also on a map, using both hands, shift right mouse click and drag to draw a circle. Now we'll show you examples of how to zoom. Here we have a graph of the seasonally adjusted unemployment rate. We will click and drag over the part of the graph we would like to zoom in on. Notice the shading that appears over the area we are zooming in on. Next, we have a map of Illinois showing McDonald's restaurants visited in over the last 6 months. We will zoom in on Chicago by clicking and dragging a box around the Chicago area. Finally, we have a map of South Carolina showing beer, wine, and liquor stores. We will focus on zip codes within a 22-mile radius of Columbia by holding Shift and right-clicking on Columbia and dragging a 22-mile radius circle. We will now show you how to navigate the database using an elementary 3-step mnemonic, ICR. The I stands for indicator, the C stands for criteria, and the R stands for results. We will be presenting the data with trending, mapping, and ranking. We'll calculate some results and customize the displays and output. Let's start with the indicators, which are the sources that appear on the left-hand side. This frame lists over 700 sources, which are divided into 4 different categories. In the news refers to items typically seen as lead news stories in the media or on the front page of the newspaper. Key economic indicators are business indicators commonly used in the analysis of economic performance and predictions. Browse by subject allows one to find content in an area of interest. Browse by source makes it possible to view alphabetical listing of data providers. After an indicator is selected, the associated criteria are immediately displayed in the criteria panel above the charts. The criteria shows how the indicators are organized. When individual criteria are selected, the values are highlighted in blue and are immediately reflected in the results panel. The results panel is divided into tabular data on the left and graphical data on the right, so you can immediately see the numeric and visual results of your search. Let's look at some of the indicators so that you can get a sense of what you might find. Notice that this product's launch page will always default to the first dataset in the news category. Presently, the price of crude oil is the first or default dataset, the results of which are displayed. To compare crude oil to another dataset, such as gold, click on the Stocks and Commodities indicator. Once opened, more files appear. Let's click on Precious Metals, and you'll see a blue booklet appear before each dataset. A blue booklet means that the data can be compared to other blue booklets. If a booklet is white, it cannot be compared to the other datasets because it is not statistically comparable. Let's control-click or multi-select gold to add that to our results, which include crude oil. Crude oil is blue and gold is conveniently gold. We now have the price for crude oil and the closing value for gold, which reports slightly more frequently than crude oil. If you want to find out more about the source you have selected, just click on the blue I button. You can see oil price futures, and when you click on that link, you can see when it was last updated, the coverage dates and update frequency. Plus, you'll see some descriptive information about the data set, in this case, the price of a barrel of light sweet crude oil. The organization that publishes this data is at the top, along with a link to its website. You can also click on the Citations tab to view the bibliographic information for both of the data sets. Use the drop-down list to select APA, Chicago Manual of Style, or Modern Language Association MLA format. If you need additional help, ProQuest has a wiki that is linked to this product. ProQuest also conducts free webinars on many different topics and all of our products. You can attend as many times as you want. We also have a listserv just for statistics, which includes statistical insight and statistical data sets. All of our announcements, press releases, tips from customers, and deeper explanation of our products can be found at that listserv. That concludes this session on statistical data sets. To learn more about how you can significantly optimize your search capabilities with the incredible range and power of ProQuest, please consult the other videos in this training series.